Has the chase for HU TAO, well, left you without a HU TAO, 0 primo gems on your account, no faith in humanity anymore, and maybe even a certain little zombie girl decided to send you her love and give you a visit? Don't fret, because even if you chased the Homa before you got the HU TAO, there's an amazing character that you guys can utilize in Genshin Impact. We're gonna be going over exactly what to do today. It's gonna be an amazing experience. Make sure you buckle up, because we're gonna be turning a certain little chef into all-powerful destruction-based DPS to solve every worry you would ever have in Genshin Impact. Strap in, hit the sub, let's get on our way. Of course, we're going over the well-balanced, well-mannered, well-practiced Xiangling today. This character is absolutely explosive. Whether you're a new player, old player, you have 5 stars on your account, you have 4 stars on your account, that's all you have access to, there's a way to abuse this character, and there's several ways to do it. Thank you, Guoba. Now, as we get into how to abuse this character with all of the builds in Genshin, here is what we're focusing on the most. Pyro Nado. Her elemental burst is absolutely massive. This multiplier on this thing is crazy. If you don't know what snapshotting is, it's going to take all of the buffs you can put on this character as you activate it, and it's going to last the entire duration, which is 10 seconds even at 0 constellations, and even higher than that if you have certain constellations on your Xiangling, which you'll get over time. So this is going to be where you're focusing everything. We're going to be doing damage, and we need energy recharge at the same time. So look no further than certain weapons here. As this is an elemental burst, get yourselves your hands on the catch. Get into Unazuma, catch some fish, level the catch up, elemental burst crit rate, elemental burst damage up in energy recharge, which is very important because, as you noticed, it is an 80 cost elemental burst. So you don't want to waste a ton of stats. This thing's going to give you damage in energy recharge at the same time. This weapon is the best 4-star hands down for her. It's got the energy recharge, the crit rate, the elemental burst damage up, because every second that you see you could be using your elemental burst with Xiangling and it's not activated, you're losing damage. You want to go ahead and get as much damage from this character as possible. And it's for all of these reasons that the catch is just hands down her best weapon. Have you seen it? Energy recharge, crit chance for the best damage ability she has, and damage up for it on top of that. Get your hands on this weapon. If you don't have any 5-star weapons, it's going to be used all the time. 5-star options: Vortex, Vanquisher, Staff of Homa, Primordial Jade, Wing Spear, Engulfing Lightning, in the Skyward Spine. Which of these are worth using over the catch? Obviously, weapons like the Skyward Spine and the Engulfing Lightning, they have that same sort of fulfillment that the good old catch does, where it has energy recharge in your weapon. It's a fantastic option for you there. Also, the Primordial Jade, Wing Spear, and the Staff of Homa are also excellent stat sticks. So if you have access to a very well-rolled energy recharge sands for your build, when we go over your build here, as far as artifacts is concerned, these ones are also fantastic. You're gonna get some of the crit rate or the crit damage that you would used to get in your artifacts, but you have to make up for that lack of energy recharge in your weapon from going from the Engulfing Lightning or the catch in your artifact sets. There are 2 extremely powerful artifact sets for Xiangling here. The old school one, Crimson Witch of the Flames, pyro damage up, as well as reaction damage. We're talking overload, melt, vaporize, all of the good stuff, also bumped up by this set. However, there is a brand new set. If you're new to Genshin Impact, you've been using your good old resin on the new armor sets here. The Emblem of Severed Fate set also works wonders with your Xiangling. It's going to give you 2-piece energy recharge, and then it's going to give you elemental burst damage based on how much energy recharge you have. So once again, the catch: Engulfing Lightning, fantastic, because not only are they awesome weapons giving you attack or elemental burst damage on the weapons themselves, but the energy recharge, filling up your burst, and then wearing this set also going to increase your elemental burst damage again, which is going to be amazing for you. If you have access to a well-rolled version of this set, go for this one over the Crimson Witch of the Flames, but this set is obviously wild. The set just speaks for itself. Up to 75%, you're probably going to be about 200 energy recharge in total. That's all you need, so you get 50% burst damage, which is insane. Now, when we're looking at artifact stats, we're going for the substats: crit chance, crit damage, elemental mastery, energy recharge. How much energy recharge? We're talking about 180-ish energy recharge in total. This is going to make you guys very consistent with how often you get your elemental burst up, whether you're fighting 20 monsters or whether you're fighting 3 monsters on certain floors of the abyss. It's going to help you out a ton there. Now, when we're looking for good old elemental mastery as a stat, it's going to be a magnificent stat to have access to, due to the fact that it's going to be bumping up all the different reactions that you can do. And Xiangling can be a part of a lot of different reactions in a lot of different teams. Since the start of Genshin Impact, we have learned how to master elemental reactions. She's most often going to be used with Vaporize and Melt, but you're also going to be able to proc Overload with her as well in certain team compositions that involve both Electro and Hydro characters, but we'll touch on that in a minute, guys, because that is the big brain team. Now for main stats on artifacts, if you go for your circlet, you want a big crit something circlet. Usually this is going to be something like this: big crit rate, some crit damage on the side, and then some elemental mastery / attack in the substats there. Your goblet is going to be none other than a pyro based goblet. Once again, crit chance, crit damage, energy recharge for your substats. That's awesome there. Now your sands is going to be dictated based on what sort of build you have in the rest of your substats. If you have a lot of energy recharge, you're using an energy recharger based weapon, right? You have that 180 already met through your weapon and your substats, then feel free to wear one of two things: an attack percent sands or an elemental mastery sands. Which one you're going to be wearing is which one you have the substats that are the best. If you have something that looks like this, attack percent, and then your substats are utter garbage, swap this one out, wear elemental mastery one that has some nice crit chance, some nice crit damage on there, and you're going to be helping yourself out a ton. So your sands, if you don't have that 180 ER, very important, wear an ER sands, because if you don't have your burst up, you're not doing damage. Your flower and feather, whatever ones have the best substats for you: crit chance, crit damage. Most important ratio: for every 2 crit damage you have, 1 crit chance, which means if you have 50 crit chance, you need at least 100 crit damage. If you have 200 crit damage, well, mathematically 100 crit chance is the best. So try to keep them in line with each other. Don't have a 200 crit damage, 20 crit chance build. You're not doing yourselves any favors there. Now, when it comes down to team compositions, one of the first things you need in your Xiangling team is going to be an attack buffer. The one that you're going to probably use most often is Bennett, because they're both pyro characters. This is going to give you ×2 pyro resonance for 25% up attack, and then you'll be utilizing good old fantastic Void, which is elemental burst. Big field heals you and gives you a giant attack buff. Cast Xiangling's elemental burst in there, go to town, run around the battlefield, have a good heyday there. Giant attack buff on that elemental burst. Pyronado is going to do wonders for you there, but that's not where the party stops. That's where the party starts. One of the best characters that you can use with her is going to be Xing Shou, because this is going to allow you to apply Hydro to your enemies with his elemental burst, and this is going to allow good old Xingling's elemental burst to proc Vaporize. Another fantastic character to abuse Pyronado with elemental reactions is going to be your boy Chongyun. This is going to allow you to apply a cryo field, which is going to apply cryo effect to Xingling's normal attacks, which in turn you're going to be able to melt with your Pyronado. So giant attack buffer, and then someone to apply either Hydro or cryo. But this isn't where the story stops. There's also some other crazy stuff you can do with Xiangling, and this happens when you introduce Electro into your team. So either with good girl Raiden Shogun or Fischl, fantastic stuff here. And this is going to be amazing here because you're going to apply 2 new reactions in your team. Now this is going to be turning your Xiangling team into a fireworks team. That's what it's called if you're new to the game, and it's wonderful. You're going to be able to apply Electro Charged, which is going to be a damage over time, and as Electro Charged is applied to an enemy, it's going to have both Hydro and Electro on it, and then when you hit it with Pyro, it is both going to vaporize as well as overload the monster at the same time in a single hit. So this is going to be a fantastic for your team composition in Xiangling, which makes elemental mastery all the more important for her as she's vaporizing and overloading at the same time. You can see just how oppressive this team can be. Raiden Shogun, good old Xing Shou, Bennett the boy, and Xiangling running around giving everyone the works. You feel like the Avatar. You're not the last airbender, you're just the last in this team because you're applying everything, doing a bajillion damage. Raiden Shogun is going to help alleviate the energy recharge that you need on your Xiangling, and it's going to let you drop that 180-ish% energy recharge necessity back on down to like 150, 140, 130 if you're fighting the correct amount of monsters out there, because of the battery that Raiden Shogun just is for your team. And that's not it at all. On top of that, Raiden Shogun is going to be buffing up the elemental burst damage of Xiangling from one of the features of her Transcendence Baleful Omen effect, which is going to be awesome. The more energy that your elemental burst costs, just like Xingling's cost 80, the bigger of a bonus ball is going to give that character. So this team composition absolutely wrecks, and it's amazing out there. Now, do you need to run this exact team? No, we've gone over 6, 7 different characters. You can add Sucrose, you can add good old Kazuha in here as well if you want to add an animal character into this team. There's so many things, but the core members here, Xiangling, Bennett, as well as Xingqiu, if you have access to those, you're good to go. If you don't have access to Xingqiu, throw in Chongyun. You'll have Chongyun, Bennett, and Xiangling. So get out there and make absolute guobas of everyone in Genshin Impact.